Hi, this is Paul Marsalik with Black Hills Energy and another entry of Management Matters. In the last entry, we were talking about expectations and talking to people about what they thought was expected of them at work. And if you recalled in the last session, what I recommended you do is write down what they tell you. Because there's going to be a lot of things that aren't going to sound like what you expect of them, what they expect of themselves. Because over time, people bring their own talents, their knowledge, their skills, their experience, all the things that add up to who they are as people. They bring them to work every day, and that becomes part of the expectations, who they are and how they go about their work, even past performance and history and things that they've been rewarded for. It might have looked different years ago than it does today, but they bring all those things with them. So what I wanted to do, and what I said at the end of the last entry was, this time we were going to talk about the purpose of the organization and the expectations that you set with people, and all that is wrapped around what their talents, their abilities, their experiences add up. So let's go ahead and start with the first part, the purpose of the organization. At Black Hills Energy, we talk a lot about safety. We talk a lot about customers. We talk about energy. We talk about a lot of things. I like to wrap what we do, or wrap the work that we accomplish, the purpose that we're here for, around a very simple question. And that is, when something comes up at work or something we have a decision to make, what I'll ask the people at work here is, what would the best gas company in America do? If we were the best gas company in America, what would we do? And interestingly enough, it brings a great deal of clarity. So what I'm suggesting to you is, you've talked to your people now about their expectations. You've asked them, what do you think is expected of you every day? And they told you. Some of it was familiar, some of it was probably not familiar. Now ask yourself this question, and maybe even them, is, if you were the best service person in America at a gas utility, what would you be doing every day? If you were the best operations technician, what would you be doing every day? If you were the best administrative person at a gas utility in America and that worked at the best gas company in America, what would you do every day? Here's the reason for this, is what it does is it brings clarity to what people do. It brings clarity to what they should focus their time on. When we think of ourselves as the best of the best, as the one that is better than everybody else, it makes us be who we are at our best. Now, I'm not digging into why people do what they do, or what their motivations are, or whether they're hardworking or lazy, whether they're grumpy, or any of those kinds of things. But what you're going to find out is, if you go through the series, you remember the ABCs and XYZs, the ABCs are going to be able to grab onto this quite quickly. Generally speaking, they have a more positive attitude. They're willing to bring the best of themselves to work every day. This is going to be one of those things that might help your XYZs, those people with a less positive attitude, begin to emerge and move into another camp. Because what you're doing is you're appealing to their more noble motives. So here's really the question. When we're talking about expectations, what you have to do is frame the expectations around what outcome you're trying to get to. The outcome that we want is to be the best gas company in America. And when people come to work every day, we expect them to bring the best of who they are to contribute to that outcome. So now I ask you the question, if you worked at the best gas company in America, using the talents that you bring to work every day and the things that you do, what should you be doing today? What should be top on your list? Now, as a supervisor, this is probably more important for me than it is for others. I tend to believe that the best gas company in America goes after certain priorities, and I've talked about this a lot with my crew. For instance, the first thing is active gas leaks. If we have a leak that we know about that we're working on, it's our top priority. We don't leave it. The second priority is any leak that's underground that we are aware of that might be safe but venting. The other one is any leak that's above ground. After that, then, there's an entire list of things, from anodes to CI reads to valve maintenance to routine meter changes to leak survey. There's all kinds of other priorities that come after that. The best gas company in America doesn't have no leaks. Now, if you work at the best gas company in America, based on what your role is, if you're a service person, and if you're an ops tech, if you're somebody who works in administration someplace, what should you be doing today? And that's really what the question is for today. So here's the last part of expectations, and then the next time what we're going to do is move into materials and equipment, which is going to be a very interesting transition. Thinking of what your people think is expected of them every day, and the outcome you want to achieve, which is the best gas company in America, how can you bring those two things together? How can people bring what they expect of themselves, what they think you expect of them, and then what you expect, which is greatness for our organization, because we don't want to be anything less than the best. How can you put those two things together? And the secret to it is dialogue. It starts with a conversation. It starts with respecting the individual. It starts with honoring who people are and what they do and what they know. And we have some work to do. There's no doubt about it. All of us could use more training. and use more knowledge, more skills, more practice at what we do. But it doesn't start until we have the conversation about what's expected of us at work and the outcome we want to achieve, which is to be the best gas company in America. This is Paul Marsalik with another edition of Management Matters with Black Hills Energy. I look forward to seeing you next time.